Designed and built in the early 20th century as a hub for elite social life, the Patterson House stands at the northeast corner of DuPont Circle.
It is a very ornate house. I can't think of another house like this here in D.C., and particularly with the way it sort of embraces DuPont Circle with the arms sort of reaching out.
The neoclassical mansion was designed by Stanford White of McKim, Mead & White, a preeminent New York design firm at the turn of the 20th century. Built in 1903 for Robert Patterson, the editor of the Chicago Tribune, the house was used for entertaining while visiting Washington for the social season.
We were looking for specific locations in the urban fabric to build what is essentially a new housing product. It's a bit of a hybrid between hospitality and residential. And of course, when we stumbled on the house here, the mansion, it was pretty appealing.
The mansion hosted historic guests. Charles Lindbergh stayed upon the return from his transatlantic flight. The President and First Lady Calvin and Grace Coolidge used the home as a residence during White House renovations in 1927. The Pattersons' only daughter, Sissy, lived in the mansion until her death in 1948. The home was willed to the American Red Cross and eventually sold to the Washington Club, a women's civic engagement organization that dissolved in 2014. Saul Urban then purchased the property.
We knew that we could figure out how to preserve the house. The first step was to figure out with Frank how to put an addition onto this building that, first of all, looked like it was an appropriate addition, but more importantly for him, provided the number of units that he needed to make this project work economically.
The plan was to subdivide the site into micro-unit apartments, mostly housed in the new addition, while maintaining the historic mansion spaces for communal amenity areas. The original house was restored using a variety of rehabilitative techniques.
So we cleaned the outside, we pointed all the joints, we stabilized some of the marble where it had become very friable. We used laser cleaning to clean some of the more sensitive areas and the areas that had a lot of incrustation.
The neutral-colored addition is sympathetic to the original house and compatible with the surrounding building fabric within the DuPont Circle Historic District. Window proportions and marble panels reference the historic mansion, complementing both the old and new.
The new building is, speaking personally, I think a gem. Fits easily with this building to which it's connected with a glass 2 or 3 story hyphen. But it also stands on its own in its elegant design and the use of materials to execute that design.
Harking back to its past, the Patterson House, now called the Empire DuPont, is once again a social hub for its residents.
I think it's great when you can find historic structures and sort of put them in a modern context and use. I think buildings do best when they're not frozen in time, when they're vibrant, and I think this building is a great example of that.